Could Magma Dragoon beat Akuma? We rarely see MegaMan characters fighting anything besides other robots. So exactly how much danger are you in if absolute zero is rampaging down your street? Could you fight off a Maverick roll in a broom fight? I'm going to break down where the games indicate all of the MegaMan cast rank in power, using common sense and extrapolation to fill in the gaps. I'm not ranking every enemy, Robot Master, or Maverick individually though. Robot Masters and Mavericks are likely all comparable in power. I'm also skipping characters from the more obscure games like Rockman Strategy. Regarding the ranking ratings, I'm not ranking individual attacks, and MegaMan is a combo-heavy series. I'm ranking how much destruction would a character likely cause before we could stop them, assuming we had 8 hours notice they were going to spawn and attack somewhere on Earth. Most individual attacks in the X series would range between wall and town level. Defense ratings are what level of damage would be required to one-shot a character. Last time we put all Classic and X humans in H tier because they are just ordinary people. I think X through ZX Mechanoids should go just below Proto-Man in E, with town level offense and tank level defense. It would be a much closer fight than their Mechanoids. But I think the Classic Quartet could take down 1 or 2 X Mechanoids each. I'm putting General Reploids in F, just ahead of the Wily machines with small building offense and elite tank durability. They aren't going to do that much, but I wouldn't advise getting into a fist fight with one, even if you are a cyborg. Reploforce Fodder I'm putting ahead of Super Base in E. They are military trained and ride armor certified Reploids. I give them medium city level offense, re-entry level durability, and advanced tactical adaptability. I don't think they are crazy either. They aren't super customized with fancy stuff, but a platoon could lock down a large city with ease. Now the boss Mavericks, like the Robot Masters, I believe get a little bit stronger each game, so I'd bet on Burn Rooster over Sting Chameleon any day. But collectively, I'd put them in D below New Devil with large city offense and bomb shelter durability. If you are Duo, you might want to back off and not fight any of them. Maybe Duo and one of the other heroes could take down a Maverick together. But they'd be better leaving it to the hunters. To be clear, this also includes Wild Django, Silverhorn, Mach Gentra, Mad Nautilus, Incentus, Depth Dragon, Rafflesia, and Duckbill Mole. What about Armorless X? I'm putting him above Reploforce Fodder in E, medium city level offense, bomb shelter defense, and genius level combat instincts. I'm sorry guys, X isn't that impressive out of the box when it comes to combat, but he makes up for it with his advanced thinking and potential as a variable.
You called me X. Is that my name?
That's right. It's a variable. It represents limitless potential.
Nah, there's nothing that can make him one of the strongest characters. Right before Proto-Man, I'm putting Bodos, the mediocre bard. He's possibly the most underwhelming boss in the X series, with just basic lasers and sonic pulses, and the ability to summon junky bits that are easily washed away by Silverhorn. City block offense and elite tank defense. Unfortunately, I think Cinnamon might struggle against our Goober King Bodos. She's not combat focused, but would be able to easily heal and regenerate weapon energy in her hyper. But I'm going to put her just a hair above him, for that healing and status effect infliction. If she can pull anyone in, Bodos is done, because the healing and regeneration is a field. Small building offense, elite tank defense, with healing fields and near unlimited weapon energy. Shadow is basically just Walmart Brand Zero with a taser, so I'm not giving him the dignity of C. No, he goes right above Raw Thor. Medium city offense, typical bomb shelter durability for combat Reploids. I'm not going to keep saying that. Combat Reploids are bomb shelter durability unless otherwise specified. I'm going to drop Redips, top of D, and Great Redips at the top of C. Base Redips small city offense, which is smaller than the Mavericks, but he obliterates that smaller space. Great Redips I think is large metro level, with space station defense, but he's stuck in C because he's immobile. Get this guy moving and he could be planetary genocide level offense, though I think he'd restrain himself. I'm putting Scarface between the Redips, but in C. He looks like Target Brain Zero, but he's fast with lots of stunning spread attacks. I rate him large city offense with bursts of flicker level speed. Ferrum is a whip-wielding menace who could create clones with comparable offense to her. She goes ahead of Scarface, and I'm torn if she could be small metro level. I think large city for sure. Epsilon has it all. Tons of crowd control options, brutal, obliterating attacks, and the ability to heal. Medium metropolitan area offense easy, with regenerating health and basic combat Reploid defenses. Great Rediffs may have more potential, but being immobile, I have to give the top of C to Epsilon. If only a band of Reploids didn't coordinate to eke out a win, we might have seen Epsilon humiliate Great Rediffs. Spider, I'm putting ahead of base Rediffs, even though we know he killed Spider. Spider has a lot of range with his cards, even crowd control. He is easy large city level offense. Marino is deadly in one-on-one, and her best weapons make that one on a crowd. At least large city offense with high survivability, and in hyper mode, prolonged flicker level speed. I'm putting her behind Ferrum, and I might be lowballing her. Her attacks are well beyond wall level. Just the spamming and speed. Behind Redips, I'm ranking Steel Massimo mainly due to his weaker defenses and narrowly focused offenses. He can obliterate an enemy, but not really a crowd, and he's slow. Sorry, but he's medium city. What about the super boss, Ninetales? In addition to constantly healing, he's another crowd controller with some devastating single target attacks, like Annihilator Hatokens. Think Hyper Beam from the Pokemon anime, but exponentially more powerful. He can also shut off his enemies' weapon systems too. Unsatisfied with humiliating his opponents, he often heals or revives them. He fights with honor, even sealing himself underground so weaklings would stop challenging him. If he believed it was his world or ours, though, he might not be so merciful. He's a medium country attack, with that constant healing and unlimited torture potential. He earned his spot at the top of B, and has 8 increasingly weaker brothers, so are the Tails brothers together planetary? Godil, R, Ale, and Nana are all civilian Reploids, so I have to put Ale and Godil just out of common Reploids. Small building offense for Godil and Ale, small city for R and Nana given R's bird and presumed combat experience, and Nana's proficiency in commanding mechanoids. All 4 with super re-entry durability, so yeah, the power order I see is Ale because he's crippled, then Godil, then Nana and R go after Bodos. Next up, Command Armor X, who has dramatically increased offense as a base form, as well as weapon energy regeneration. I think just before the Mavericks is a good spot with large city offense. For Zero, he has incredible speed and maneuverability, and he's capable of flickering level speed, especially when overclocked in Black Zero mode. He's a combat genius killing machine. I see him falling between Marino and Ferrum. Easy large city offense, maybe small metro. Zero is kinda scary. Absolute Zero is even more terrifying. Being able to flicker for most attacks and being able to combo them non-stop, we are looking at almost Ninetales level. Small, maybe medium country offense with insane speed and attack rate. This is what Wily had in mind for Zero. Expire I'm going to put behind Scarface, mainly because it's focused on decimating a single target, but he can do so repeatedly with fairly good agility. I see large city potential.
They may very well view your limitless evolutionary potential as something to be feared. The name X also carries connotations of danger.
Ultimate Command Armor, though, is up with Absolute Zero. I think Zero is a bit more ridiculous, but launching an entire nation's armory is kinda nuts too. I have to give him small country offense. You think anything we've got is going to work on him reliably, or stand up to him raining missiles down on it? The first armor provides X with a basic ability. The ability to break bricks with his head, like Mario, a defense buff, and an enhanced charge shot. It's really pretty garbo comparatively to other armors. You know, I think I have to put this right after an Armored X. Pretty much the same medium city offense, but a slightly buffed bomb shelter defense, and an innate counter to Mega Man 11's Blockman. Second armor is a bit better, offering an air dash, charge storage, reduced weapon energy consumption, and the ability to see secret passages, and a devastating explosion attack after taking damage. It's basically Crash from Kirby. This is actually a nice combat buff, but I think I have to still keep him behind Shadow with medium city attack. The X-Hunters, they're going right under Yellow Devil with small city offense. They'd be lucky to take out a small city. Heck, Capcom even only sees Violin, the one I could make the best case for small city, as Maverick Hunter base level. Building level. A large well-guarded building, but a building. I think they are lowballing him, confidently. How about this? They are small town offense, not even a city, so I see Sergi's as the weakest, even in his tall tank, Agile in the middle, and Violin as the strongest of the three. Fake Zero, I see falling behind Command Armor X with medium city offense. He's an imitation that hits the key points but just isn't the same. And Aldi Brand Zero. We're not doing third Armor X, we're doing Gold Armor X. This double boosted armor grants X 2 air dashes, a 75% damage reduction, the ability to fire a flurry of 4 times charged buster shots from both hands without charging, though we can charge them, and the ability to see useful items and heal while remaining perfectly still for extended periods. Yeah, that last one is pretty useless, but the rest is good enough I feel confident putting him just ahead of Zero. Small Metro with military bunker defenses.
Doctor, I'll use this power to fight for justice, to fight for hope.
Of course you will.
Also, we're skipping 4th armor for ultimate 4th armor. This armor starts by granting 1 air dash, and the ability to hover in the air, have damage, and the ability to turn invincible and Nova Strike dash through enemies every time he touches the ground or a wall. A charge shot that lingers, and infinite or double weapon energy. But we are considering the strongest form, so he has unlimited weapon energy. This is cracked even with the drop in maneuverability and tankability. I see him being comparable, but falling a few hairs short of Absolute Zero. Small, maybe medium country offense, and high-grade bomb shelter defenses. This depends a bit on weapons though. I'm considering this with a typical weapon selection. If you carefully selected 8 weapons from across the series, the sky's the limit. The Nightmare Police are not much stronger than the X-Hunters. Bite can charge and grab or use magnets to push you very slowly. Bit can charge with a sword and bind enemies as well as throw a flashy energy ball. He also owns a shield but refuses to use it because it is big and awkward to hold. I could see Small City for them, but I think even Trash King Bodos would have an advantage. They have a combined fusion form, God Car Machine, that is stronger than either of them alone. Wow. It has terrible mobility though. It could more easily ruin a small city. But I see it just sneaking out past Bodos, but not R or Nana. Our military would take the slow thing down before it could do much more. Doppler, I feel good putting ahead of Base on Armored X, which is medium city attack, with the ability to heal damage when he isn't attacking. Finally, last, and most importantly least, I'm dropping Mac right before Bite. We hardly saw anything from him, but it wasn't impressive. He's a formality for Unarmored X. Double seems appropriate below Fake Zero. He seems very medium city with great agility. There's just no wow factor. Double put everything into Crossing X and slaughtering all X's coworkers. The ultimate Reploid armor Iris obtains after consuming Colonel's soul is impervious to damage and can counter any attack with homing mines. But it also flies really slowly. I think Marino and our military could figure it out. So let's put it behind Marino with medium city offenses and space station defenses, aside from the vulnerable core. I'm putting Colonel bottom of C because he's got range, good spammability, ground shockwaves, flicker level movement, and can summon reverse lightning from the floor a few dozen feet around him. Super solid large city fire with great dodging options.
Very well then. I'll spare your life for now.
General is a big, slow guy, but he has great attack options and can create diversions with his detachable hands and energy rings. Plus he's a tactical genius. I see him above double, losing some points for being a big, slow target to train our soldiers on. Falcon Armor X gains the ability to fly invincibly, double weapon energy, reduced damage, and a Giga Crush attack after taking heavy damage. And a new charge shot that goes through walls in exchange for removing special weapon charging. I think that's a stronger Falcon Buster. This is good, but right before Ferrum good. High agility with large city attack. The Gaia armor is all defense, sacrificing speed and movement. It does have damage with a Giga Crush that grants invincibility, powerful but short range attacks that can absorb bullets, immunity to spikes, and the ability to cling to walls. Inferno Reddit seems fair with small city offense and small mountain defenses. This is a weird one to rank. The defenses are excellent, but you can only turtle so long. The Blade Armor provides a weapon energy boost, a long air dash, a weak but lingering buster, the ability to turn the buster into a sword for a moment, and reduce damage that lets X release a projectile / Giga Crush. This is the definition of a mixed bag. I might get crap, but I'm struggling to put him above Command Armor X, with large city offense, but kneecapped. Shadow Armor X makes me get why nobody has done this. He can swing sabers extra fast, which is actually pretty good if you don't know how to dash cancel. His Giga Crash, his energy rings that surround him, he loses special weapons in exchange for flinging shuriken blindly and doing a big slash when charging. He is also immune to spikes, can flip up to the ceiling and cling to walls. I'm sorry, small city offense with amazing agility, right ahead of Blade Armor. The inability to aim the shurikens is really crippling him here. Spray and Pray just doesn't get you any higher. His one-on-one in agility is carrying him. Can we skip Glide Armor X? No, he can slowly float to the ground now. Great for offense and defense. It removes the fall down and lay on the floor for a minute mechanic X7 introduced. But that's useless even considering a version of X not prone to taking dirt naps. It also gives a decent Giga Crush. It increases the item pickup range and adds 3 small homing shots after a charge shot. Behind Evil Robot with you. New Ultimate Armor. Doubles jumping and running speed, halves damage, and gives the ability to heal if paired up. It also grants the lingering charge shot and a Shoryuken. This is pretty good, great agility, but I don't think I can go higher than Gold Armor X. Newer isn't always better. Axel is able to hover and collect and maintain a database of reploids to transform into at will using Atrians. At this peak, I'm putting him past Absolute Zero, at least small country offense. His damage potential is outrageous, and his defensive options aren't anything to scoff at either. He can cloak himself and become invisible to the eye or machine detection. I'm only ranking one version of Vile. He doesn't have armors or hyper modes, he just gets rebuilt. I think that Vile MK2 is his strongest build, with many sneaky options to trap his opponents in and out of the right armor, as well as a bit wider arsenal than Vile V. I'm putting him behind Ferrum with his right armor, small metro offense, and small mountain defense. Out of the armor, he's going to drop to below 0, with large city offense and military bunker defenses. If I did Vile V, he'd probably land right behind 0, so they are fairly comparable. You know, let's just put Vile V in anyway. For Sigma, who also gets rebuilt, I'm only ranking one Street Body and one Final Form, plus a special extra. I really don't think either of us want me ranking every Sigma body for 30 minutes. I'm most impressed by X3 Sigma, and his ability to spam fireballs that travel up walls, but he also carries a shield. I'm dropping him behind Scarface, with large city attack and military bunker defenses. I'm choosing Gunner and Earth Sigma as the strongest Final Form, for the absolute span between his 2 bodies and 3 regenerating support heads. Straight above Ninetales. At least medium country offense and 5 military bunkers worth of defense, split 5 ways. If this Sigma showed up in your city, it's too late for you. Finally, I'm putting Sigma Virus top of B for its endurance and existential significance. This is a planetary threat, with viral level defenses. It's like fighting an idea. Dynamo is going below Colonel, and after X-Fire, he has a lot of big attacks, can deflect projectiles, and is agile. But lacks Flicker. He's no ultimate armor. Shadow Devil goes right after the Mavericks. He just isn't on par durability-wise to pass new Yellow Devil, and I have trouble believing he is stronger. Medium city offense with the ability to memorize and copy the forms of other machines. I have no reason to think he's much more durable than regular Yellow Devil. Awakened Zero is a glowing, slightly stronger Berserk Zero, aside from one move that can one-shot Ultimate 4th Armor. I'd say that one attack is small asteroid level, but it needs a lot of time to charge up that attack. Generally, I'm putting him at small country and behind Ultimate 4th Armor. You can make a case the other way around, but Ultimate 4th shouldn't give him enough time to launch that one attack. And if I remember correctly, Ultimate 4th can Nova Strike through it too. How high is High Max? Gate's Invincible Warrior? He flies and attacks with volleys of energy balls of various sizes. Occasionally he'll engage opponents in physical combat, and has a regenerating energy shield that blocks any attack besides special weapons or armor attacks. On attack alone, I see him as medium Metro. We lack a lot of info on the barrier, so I'm going to say it is a regenerating tank level barrier right ahead of Epsilon. Gate is weird, because he's invincible to everything except recoil from his own attacks, which are generated from Zero's remains. It's hard to call how durable he is, especially since Zero is not impervious, unless what he copied has to do with the Zero virus, not Zero the man, Reploid. What we could say is Gate is a mediocre combatant, throwing energy balls one at a time while flying slowly and predictably. His strongest attack is tearing a small dimensional hole, and basically no dodging ability. He may have to be trapped, but that won't be hard for Earth military. He gets to go right after base Redips. He should have stuck to science. Nightmare Zero is the last X6 character. He's basically just Zero, but really campy with weak projectiles and dyed purple. He's $25 to Zero. I'm going to put him behind Shadow. Medium city damage. Red is a dual scythe-wielding Arbiter of Justice, protecting the world during the events of X7, while X cries all day about having to hurt bad people to protect innocent people. He has potential, with brief flicker level speed, the ability to create multiple tornadoes and clones with flicker, and the ability to counter attacks with homing projectiles. He should be strong, but fights pretty lethargically. That's just his personality, the laid-back underachiever. I see him just edging out Scarface, also with large city offense. If he put his heart into it, he could go higher. This may be another controversial take, but Lumine in base is incomparable to the Angel form. Base Lumine tries to corner you with huge attacks. Angel Lumine throws slow and easy but long patterns to dodge, so I'm giving base Lumine a spot right behind Farron. Small Metro offense, the Angel form is a Hail Mary after he already lost. Copy Sigma is highly mobile with big attacks, so I'm going to put him ahead of base Redips with large city attack. Alia, likely a mistranslation of Area, is stronger than you think. I'm not talking about Alia mode. Prior to being an operator, Gate conned her into being his fixer, and she single-handedly took down several X6 Mavericks. So she does have combat abilities. This is backstory though, so we don't know the nature of her abilities unless they are the same as Alia mode, so I'm going to put her behind Command Armor X with large city power. Lair and Pallet are also implied to have combat capabilities, through them constantly being associated with the same weapons ever since Lair and Pallet mode. While I don't believe the alternate modes or X-Dive fighters reflect their canon abilities, it reflects they have canon experience with beam sabers and stun pistols, respectively. So I'm putting Lair behind Alia, and Pallet behind her. Cygnus, Douglas, and Lifesaver, as well as Iris, have no known feats. I know I'd never get away with not giving Iris or Cygnus their own spot. I mean, one is the most popular X-Series character to Capcom's absolute confusion. If she and Cygnus got a spot though, someone will ask, where's Douglas? And there would be that one Lifesaver fan too. Cygnus, being a military commander, I'd like to expect has some combat training, so I see him being just above Repliforce fodder. Douglas and Lifesaver, we have to assume are typical non-combat Reploids. But they get their own spots. How about Douglas likely has some weapons, so he goes above, and Lifesaver below because it's illegal to attack medics during war. So he probably has no training or weapons. Having faith warmongers will not further break the law. Also, Lifesaver seems to be a model of a medical Reploid, not a character, so... Now Iris is getting a new tier, Best Girl tier. Like I said, she has no known combat feats aside from riding the ultimate Reploid armor. However, X4 only happened because her brother and boyfriend were fighting over her in the Reploid ethno state she dreamed of.
Let's live together in a world where only Reploids exist. Iris, there's no world just for Reploid. It's only a fantasy.
Yes, I know, but I wanted to believe it. I wanted to live in a world where only Reploids exist, with you.
So she has siren-level manipulation powers. If she spawned with desires to destroy the world, most men would probably surrender to her. Similarly, twins, Midi and Techno, ranked together, have no combat feats, so with general Reploids you go. Actually, no, let's put them behind Lifesaver. They look weaker than your average Reploid. Zane I'm putting before Repliforce Fodder, because all he does is jump with the sword and spin slowly across the floor with his sword. It's very sad. Small city offense. Now Gimel is much more competent, throwing rapid-fire shuriken, teleporting and trying to drop on people's heads and riding a kite around the battlefield. I think he's earned a spot right before Pallet with medium city offense. Gareth is a spearmaster that throws spears at a pretty good pace. He can also guard and high jump. I think just past Gimel with medium city offense is pretty good. Berkana is interesting. Themed after a witch, she has fire and ice spells, but can also fling bouncing spells that disable opponents' abilities to jump and shoot. If this applies to humans, who could say? But if it does, she can briefly terraform the battlefield into the worst one to be missing those specific abilities in. Even without being able to disable opponents, the fire and ice spells as well as geomancing places her just before Street Body Sigma, in my eyes, with large city offense.
I'm sorry, X. I didn't have enough time to see you enter the world.
Dr. Light.
I've given you the power to think, to worry, and to grow and evolve as you fight. But it is too soon for that power to be unleashed.
Lastly, we have X-Series Dr. Light, the AI copy, seemingly able to create new armors and erect new capsules, as well as repair X or Zero if they are within an unknown range of a capsule. While his body may be no more, Dr. Light continues to live on in immortality. You could describe his defenses similarly to a torrent, which is essentially indestructible. While he has never been canonically shown with any combat abilities, he can manipulate events from the shadows. I believe this earns him a spot in B, just after the Sigma virus. The only thing that could possibly eliminate him is a cataclysm that nearly destroys all life on Earth caused by a godlike entity. That had never happened between MegaMan series.
Doctor!
Farewell, X. You are the world's one true hope.
I feel like I'm forgetting someone.
The greatest! I'm a genius! Wait. That research from my youth. Yes! Now I'll show you light!
Oh yes, X-Series Dr. Wily, who also immortalized himself by transferring his consciousness into the digital world. While the games imply Light simply created a copy, they are clear this is Wily, full memories and will. He's been seen in at least 2 Reploid bodies, manipulating events to try to destroy X and cure Zero, after Zero became infected with the Maverick virus, which turned him into a hero and friend of X. Combining his paranoid genius with his digital form, he is as close to indestructible as you get, and like Light, manipulates events and creates new battle bodies. My headcanon is that at some point, he flees into a Meteor that gets locked into a warehouse for hundreds of years. Considering he has every digital device to flee into, I have to put Wily atop of B. Our world could never truly stop him. That's every X character unless you count X-Dive, which Riku is more like a Navi. And if I included them, I'd have to do Christmas Rico and Swimsuit. If you like this, please like it and subscribe for the next series 0.